Hello and welcome to LuxuryBusinessPlan.com. I'm Jack Cotton, luxury real estate expert, author, and agent. I'm here to give you a quick overview of the business plan you have just about downloaded or you've already downloaded. So anyway, here's the website where you're at. And you know, a business plan is an integral part of any business. It's amazing how few people actually do them and execute them and follow them. You know, that's because they're so cumbersome, they're so complicated, they're so daunting, they're so intimidating. I've designed a business plan in Excel that is really simple and easy for a luxury real estate agent like yourself to use. So let me just go through it with you real quick. Here's the fun part, here's the cover, this is the easy part. And a central theme throughout my business plan is this. Wherever you see a white box, you can see, white boxes here, that's where you enter data. Everywhere it's blue, it's already there, it auto-calculates, you can't touch it, you can't mess with it, you can't hurt it, it's just there. So only deal with the white boxes. So here's the easy part. Here's the part that really cuts to the chase. Look at this, 2, 4, 6 questions. How much do you want to earn next year or this year? Write it down. There's some sample data in the spreadsheet of $400,000. How many hours a week do you want to work? How many days a week do you want to work, and how many days a week per month do you want to take off? Critically important is your ratio of business coming from listings sold to buyers who buy. Again, I took an arbitrary number here of 80% of your business coming from listings sold and 20% coming from buyers who buy real estate from you. Again, in these white boxes, put in anything you want. The cool thing about my spreadsheet is that you could do a lot of what-if analysis with this spreadsheet. You could do 75-25, you could do 90-10, you could do 100% zero, you can do 50-50, and see what that means to you in terms of what you have to do next year when you execute the plan. Okay, the less easy part is this. Now, once you have all the data you need to do what I call a situation analysis, the business plan auto-calculates instantly, so there's nothing to do to create the plan. The hard part of this plan is to gather the data that goes into the plan. So basically, you've got some more white boxes here, starting with how much money you made in the last 12 months, how many listing leads did you have last year, how many listing appointments did you have last year, how many listings did you take last year, and finally, how many listings actually sold last year. What was your average list price, and what was your average sales price of a home that actually closed and sold? Another 7 boxes, no big deal. But you're gonna have to go through your calendar, your day timer, your Outlook calendar, wherever you keep your calendar, you need to go through day by day for the whole last year and count all these things, because hopefully you're keeping track of messages when they come in so you can have an idea of how many listing leads you have. Now, if you're brand new to the business, you're going to have to make best guesses. Talk to some other agents who you know and come up with some best estimates. And my advice to you is to go on the high side for now. Put in big numbers and you'll see how that all works out in a second. Next, you want to see how many listings of yours actually sold last year. What was the average list price and what was the average sold price? How many buyer leads did you have last year? How many buyer appointments did you have last year? How many buyer contracts were signed last year? And lastly, how many buyer sales occurred? And what was the average sales price of a buyer sale last year? Again, only fill out the white boxes. Everything else is automatic. In fact, you can see in this example, a couple of numbers auto-calculated. You had 26 transactions last year, according to this sample data. And the average sales price was $796,154. Those are numbers that automatically calculated based on the numbers you filled in on those white boxes. So the sales that fell through last year, how many prospecting hours did you spend each week last year? How many hours did you work each week last year? And how many vacation weeks did you take last year? What's next? Here's a page now where everything auto-calculates. And this is, when you see this, you'll understand why it's so important to spend the time. And you know what? It's not even going to take an hour. When I say spend the time, I'm not talking about spending a whole week on this. You can go through your calendar for last year in about an hour, whether it's in your handwritten diary or your Outlook calendar, whatever calendar you happen to use. It's really not going to take that long to go through and count up your appointments. But look at what it calculates for you. The number of leads that turned into appointments, the number of appointments that turned into listings, the percentage of listings that turn into sales. I mean, you can calculate all your batting averages here so that you can think about, what do I need to do to make my batting average is better so I can do less work. You know, what was the income per transaction? What was my income per prospecting hour? And what was my income per hour worked? Look at that, $700 per prospecting hour. When you have that number in front of you, doesn't it make you more apt to want to go out and prospect and see how much you actually made last year from your prospecting hours? Okay, here's a few more things to fill in. These are more aspirational. The average sales price of a home you'll list this coming year. The average commission split, I put in just an arbitrary number. I put in an arbitrary offer split. And the number of leads it takes to get to one appointment, the number of listing appointments it takes to get to one listing, and your target number of listings needed to have one sold. These are all aspirational. You'll see in the gray shaded area on the far side, it shows what your actual numbers were for last year. So here's where you try to improve your numbers this year if you can. And so then again, everything auto-calculates for you. It's really a simple plan. The hard part is the data collection. And once you understand the power of the data, once it's collected, you'll develop a system. In fact, there is a system on the back of the spreadsheet where you can track everything this year so you won't have to do that hour-long odyssey of searching through all your records to find these numbers that we're talking about here. Again, the same thing happens on this page with on the buy side, and then everything comes together. Just want to remind you also is on the first Tuesday of every single month, I do luxuryrealestateunplugged.com. It is a subscription service. It's really inexpensive. Check it out. But you can get all your luxury real estate questions answered, including problems, challenges, or successes you're having in designing and executing your agent business plan. Well, there you go. Any questions, send me an email, jack@jackcotton.com. Good luck with your business plan. Fill it out. Get it going. Thanks again, and see you soon.